Good morning, friends. Welcome to Coffee Talk this morning. We are hanging out here in we're going to call it the gymnasium. We've been calling it the gymnasium this week because it's been a lot of exciting, joyous, loud fun happening here in the sanctuary. And this has kind of been the gymnasium for VBS this week.
Yeah.
So if you weren't aware, we're having a VBS that's happening all this week, and it's been going really well. And thank you especially to the volunteers. Chris isn't here; he's leading some stuff back there.
Yep.
There's been a lot of really good help with volunteers.
Oh,
so
good.
If you see somebody who was involved with VBS, thank them. And it's also really cool because Chris is involved in it, but also Caitlin has been doing a lot with it as well too.
She came on last week and just poured right in. It's really great.
So it's been keeping us all on our toes here at church, and so we're going to be very brief today, but we want to look back and just be reminded of the things that we're focusing in on as a church, that we kind of all come around. Okay, we're all looking at the same passage, so it's really cool to kind of have that focus. So we're in our series called the quest for meaning. I was going to say the meaning of quest, the quest for meaning in Ecclesiastes. And so it's just it's a good and challenging book where the teacher is leading us through some really. I keep coming back to the word
Hevel?
Hevel for sure, but also realistic. He just jumps straight into the deep end.
Like, look, guys, this is what I've seen.
This is what I've seen.
You all in your theological, little holes. This is what I see.
And it's not always pretty. Right. But it's also.
Yeah.
But it's also very uplifting. It does actually have this hopeful thread that's through it.
Well, that's the cool whole thing. He's like, look, we're not meant to pretend as Christians. We're actually meant to see everything, and in light of it all, still choose wisdom, which is, Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's good.
I stole your thunder.
But that's exactly it. So my question to you is, if you had $1 trillion, trillion, not million. Normally we would say million.
Can't even imagine it.
If we said million, that's easy. If we had $1 billion, trillion. If you had $1 trillion, Jeff, what would you do?
Oh man, I think I'd start praying really hard, because I've read enough people who have won the lottery and ruined their lives. You lose all your friends because they want you for your money, or at least you wonder if they do, and people come for you, whatever. So I wouldn't want that. I don't think I would.
I don't think I would either.
I mean, my mind goes to okay, I've heard before that with however much money you could solve hunger, you could solve poverty. So I'm like, I definitely want to look into how I could be using it for that. But man, it would just be a lot of work to figure all that out, and I wouldn't know how to do that, or who to ask, because then they'd be like, well, you could do this, or you could give me your money, So why do you ask?
I ask because because I think sometimes when we think, if I just had just a little bit more, I could do this and this and this, and everything would be right. Right? So I sometimes do the same thing with time. If I had endless time, what would I do? And I quite often think about, I would do this and this, and I'd be able to, right? And I feel like I could control things a little bit more. And it just seems very interesting that, wait a second, I've been given 24 hours. And I've been given everything that I need. I've been given endless amount of time for all that I need. And so with the money thing, it's harder, because we think, control this, we'll change that, we'll do this. Okay, what if it was time? Okay, if you had endless time, I'm sure there's things that we would want to do, and we would want to change and fix and turn and control. What if you had endless amounts of wisdom? Would you do this, or would you change that, or would you fix this, right? And in the passage this last Sunday, he comes to this thought of not necessarily if you had endless wisdom, but what is wisdom for? What is money for? What is time for? Okay, what is wisdom for? Wisdom is for being able to see and understand and know, but also understand that you can't control everything. And that's a difficult
it is.
process for us to go in because we think, okay, if I just had more wisdom, I'd learn how to spend my money wisely. I'd be able to do this and this and this, and we would think we can do all these things. A plus B plus C equals J, and it's going to happen, and it's going to work every time.
Yeah.
And I think the teacher kind of just takes a pin and pops that balloon and says, you cannot control what this is all about. And wisdom is not given by God for certain things. It's actually for His honor and glory. And I love that passage. And it seems like, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like in repetition, he comes back to just simple things. Enjoy your work. Be a good citizen. There was a couple of things, maybe it was this week or last week, where he talks about just honoring the king. Right? It's simple things that we do and we live out.
It's almost like he's a father who just wants his child to be with him.
Okay. The amount of times where even we're talking about this sense of control, it has challenged me in some in parenting as well.
Hugely.
Because I want to take my kids and I want to turn them here and turn them there and turn them there. So that I could just make everything just so for them, and that's not what parenting is. And that,
Wow.
So that's where I find this sense of difficulty. But why did God give wisdom to Solomon? It was for His honor and glory. It was to better His people. It was to shape generations beyond and afterwards with Psalms and Proverbs and all these things that happened.
Sorry, I cut you off. But even as you were talking, I'm like, it's amazing how God reveals His wisdom. The wisdom literature isn't just one book that tells us, do this, then this, then this, then this. Proverbs seems to be that way, but in light of Job and Ecclesiastes, it's actually probabilities. Most likely when you do this, But then it's also like, there's one verse, I forget exactly where it is, but it's like, answer a fool according to his folly, and this bad thing will happen. Don't answer a fool according, and this bad thing, you're like, wait, which is it? Well, it takes wisdom to figure it out, and that's what this whole literature is about. It's not about God saying, wisdom is do this, then this, and like you said, but wisdom is recognizing that sometimes things will happen that you have no idea why. Job never found out why, and you will suffer immensely. But God's got a plan in it, and He's the one who knows, and the point is that God knows and we can trust Him. Ecclesiastes is like, you look around and you're like, it doesn't seem like the world is, controlled by a wonderful, good, and whatever God, but He has given us these gifts. And we need to accept that He's in control, we're not. We probably won't understand, and then probably, So anyway, sorry.
And even being able to see it, to know, actually God is working in these situations where I assume it's all terrible. Okay, so I like music.
Really?
Jeff?
That's a surprise.
Jeff actually plays guitar, in case anybody needed to know. Jeff plays guitar, I play guitar.
I pretend.
So I was teaching somebody guitar in their early teens, and they were a very straightforward thinker.
Like me?
And they said, okay, well, how do I play a G chord?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So I said, okay, well, you do kind of like this. And that's the G chord because you need G, B, and D.
But you can also do it this way or this way or this way.
and they were like, okay, so this is a G chord. Okay. So then we would be start playing along, and then I'd play a G chord in a different spot or a different inversion. And it kind of
like, wait, you told me this.
It kind of began to frustrate this person, immensely, because she's like, no, you told me that was a G. Well, it is, but also when you're playing in a different key, you can play this G, and actually it's still a G, but it's a slightly different. But you got to know when to use it and how to use it. And what the feel is. And it just frustrated her because she wanted this basic. But she grew in that. She learned different ways to do it, realizing that you have 6 strings and 3 notes to play. How do you do that division? And so I think it's a lot like that. Being able to see, okay, here's the principles that Proverbs brings us to, that the truth of Scripture brings us to, but realize that a lot of that wisdom is most of the time. And like there's rules. I don't want to say that there's not rules or standards or anything like that, but it's being able to apply that.
So somebody told me,
readiness.
another musician told me one time that a musician goes through the whole process of learning all the rules.
Yes.
In order to know when to break them.
Yes. And
that's the beauty of it.
That's what this person was saying too. Why are you breaking that rule? Because, well, in this instance, you actually do break that.
Yeah, and wisdom is
learn the
learning
rules so you can break them.
The boundaries and whatever, but then how to play in the middle, and that's a good,
And there's somebody who also said, you know, like you could play this piano piece absolutely perfectly, and one teacher says, you know,
very
like
static, very whatever,
very static, but like masterfully.
Yeah.
But then the one teacher says, okay, you play the piano very well. At some point, you'll learn to play music. Because there's a difference, right? And so I feel like that it's the same thing with wisdom. You know, what is this for? It's for understanding this is who God is. This is what He's made us to be. This is the direction He's pointing us, but He's not going to tell you step by step by step.
Yeah.
And that's
He
the
wants you to
joy.
walk with Him through it.
That's the joy of walking through Scripture and faith and learning, and it means a lifelong learning.
Yes.
If you get to the end of third year Bible school and you say, I've got this one, you're in trouble, as many of us found themselves to be. So we pray that you're being led by God's Spirit in a lot of things in your life, and that you're walking with Him and working through a lot of these things. And a lot of times it's depends on the situation as far as the answers go, right?
Yeah.
We want to kind of shift gears and say as we move into this next season, VBS is over this week. There's a supper happening tomorrow night. That's going to be done by the time you really get into this video. So we're going to point ahead to something a little bit further down. So this coming Thursday, on the 23rd, in the evening, you can be looking forward to the opportunity to get together as ladies
at the Nut
Farm on that Thursday evening. It'll be a great time. Just show up, bring some stuff here on the screen with you, and it's going to be a great time. So you can be looking forward to that. And then there's another event.
Cooking for Mamas, which we
Cooking for
already talked
Mamas.
about. Wednesday, the 29th, I think, of June, and that's from starting at 6:30 at Nikki Albrecht's house, and so you can probably talk with Nikki or Alyssa about how to be involved with that, but they would really like you to come and help cook for a mama, and bring $10 to help with the covering of the costs. And this is one of the beautiful ways that that our church supports each other. Like, people were just like, hey, we haven't cooked for you yet. Let's arrange that, and so that's the 29th.
Yeah. So you can be looking forward to that. It's a great opportunity, and keep
praying for praying for our church and for the kids that have been at VBS as they go through the rest of their summer, but also for our Romanian team as they prepare to leave. Man, it's less than a month. It's pretty quick.
Weeks.
So pray for them as they prepare to take what they've learned from VBS and done here to a bigger setting there, and their flight and everything that they have to prepare for.
Yep. So blessings on you and on your summer. Hopefully you're enjoying the warm weather, and we will see you on Sunday.